When it comes to measuring user behavior or flow in Google Analytics 4, Google Analytics provides us two exploration techniques for us to use. The first one is building funnels, and this is a really good way of quantifying sequential user behavior. So we can define a set of rules, and then we can measure how many users did and didn't follow that path. The other way of doing it is a bit more loose and a bit more exploratory, where we pick a start point and explore where users go from that point, or we can define an end point and see how users reach that end point. So rather than defining rigidly all the rules through the funnel and measuring or quantifying that, we can just pick a start or an end point and explore what happened either side. So let's jump in and have a look at that path exploration technique, because the path exploration is a really valuable tool to use, but it takes a little bit of getting used to and understanding what it is that it's trying to tell us. So first of all, let's open up a new exploration and either pick a template of the path exploration or jump in with a blank one and change the technique over to path exploration. But once we are in there and we've got the path exploration technique open, we can see that it jumps us in and starts us with some visualization. So there's something already to look at. And very quickly, it's worth noting that in Google Analytics 4, as is the case in everywhere, everything is all about events. It's all about events. Google Analytics 4 only tracks events. And so when we're looking at the path exploration, we're looking at a path of events from all of our users. Now, we can see already in the tab settings that there's a variety of different node types. So we can change the nodes from event names to page titles, page paths, screen class, and screen names as well. But right now it's starting us somewhere. It's starting us with the event name. Before we start exploring that in any more detail, let's just have a quick look at some of the other tab settings just to be very clear about what it is we're looking at. So as we scroll down, we've got this toggle that says view unique nodes only. Now this toggle means that if a user logged 3 of the same event in a row, it's going to condense that into one node. Now I can turn that off, which is what I do prefer to do. Now, if a user logged 3 page view events in a row, I'm going to see each of those individually. We then have the opportunity to add a breakdown. And so what this enables us to do, as we hover over each node, so as I'm doing now, it tells us the total number of events that have occurred through this flow. However, if I wanted to, for example, break that down by device category, I can import the dimension device category, and then I can pull the device category onto that breakdown. And now what that means is whenever I use my cursor and hover over any of the nodes, it will then give me the total, but it will also break it down by the dimension that I've selected. So the device category is just an example. You can use any dimension in Google Analytics 4 to do this. And the last thing to note is that we're using the event count as the values here, which you can always swap out for something like users if you prefer. So now let's have a look at the report again and see what we're looking at. So right now we're looking at the event name, and I want to look at maybe the page path or the screen name or the screen class, for example, instead. So if I click the blue button that says start again at the top of the screen, it gives me the choice to pick a start point or an end point. So if I pick a start point, and let's say I want to do an exploration where I explore where users go from the homepage of my website. So rather than pick the event name, I'm going to pick the page path and screen class, and I'm going to use the homepage as the selection here. Once I've selected the homepage, we can see that the first node is the homepage, and then we're exploring what happens next, so what users do next. But already can we see that we've got things like not set in this report. Now, this is where we have to remember that we are looking at all events. We're looking at events, page view and screen view events, yes, but we're also looking at the automatically collected events, maybe some imported offline events, or maybe even some created events that you might have set up within the Google Analytics 4 interface as well. So for me, for this exploration, I want to focus just on the page view events. You might want to do the same for page view events or screen view events or something else entirely yourself. The way that we do that is we import the dimension event name. So if we go back into that screen of dimensions and find the event name and import that, as we scroll down the tab settings, we can then use that as a filter. And so I can now filter this entire thing to just look at page view, in my example, page view events. So I'm going to take the event name and I'm going to say exactly matches, and this should auto populate page underscore view, and then click apply. And this will think for a minute, and then this will repopulate or reproduce this entire report, now just looking at page view events. So now what this is showing me is the page view path through this website. and you can see that the not set has now disappeared. So now let's explore, let's play with this visualization. So from the home page, we know that occurred almost 35,000 times. The most popular next page was the home page, and then from the home page was the home page again, and then from the home page, let's explore the next node is the home page again. And this is not uncommon. So this is because the date range that I'm looking at here, for example, is the last 28 days. And what we're looking at is user behavior over a long date range. So this could be across multiple sessions. This could be across multiple, within the same session. So there could be days or even seconds between each of these nodes. But if we pick a different route, so let's go from the home page to sign in, for example. So we can go from home page to sign in, and then from sign in, we can go to my account. And then from my account, you can see that people go to my account, the home page or the basket, and we can explore these different nodes in different ways. So let's do exactly the same thing again. Let's click start again, but let's do it from the opposite direction. Let's pick an endpoint. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pick a page path or screen class. And now I'm going to pick a different page, and I want to explore how users get to that page. So in this example, I'm going to use the clearance page. This is the sale page of their website. And it's the same visualization, but now we're reading from right to left. And so to get to the clearance page, so to get to the sale page, the most popular preceding page is the home page. And then before that, we can see it's the home page or the sign in page. And then let's go down a different node and explore down that way. So in a nutshell, that is the path exploration technique in the Explore workspace. It's a really valuable asset to have alongside things like funnels to measure and monitor user flow and behavior through a website or a mobile application. We are able to pick a start point and go forwards in time, or pick an end point and go backwards in time. And we can actually use different things. We can look at all events, we can look at specifically page or screen view events, and we can look at the event name, the page path, the page title, the screen name, or the screen class. We can even break that down by any dimension and not just measure the totals, but see the split between different dimensions. In this case, or in this example, I'm using device category. So that's it. That's how to use the path exploration technique. I hope you find some value and some use cases and some application for it. Enjoy playing with it, and I'll see you in the next one.